Hello, God First family. I hope you're as excited about hearing this devotion as much as I am excited about sharing it. I am grateful that we are finally level 3. Obviously, I know we are not out of the woods just yet, but at least we're headed in the right direction. In the past couple of months during this lockdown, I've been concerned that my 3 blenders at full speed with no top, otherwise known as my 3 daughters, have been watching too much television instead of reading. So I came up with a terrific strategy, and that is to mute the audio and switch on the subtitles. Now, bang, I have them reading. Now, I'll let you do the value judgment whether that is terrific or tragic. Now, speaking about tragedy, it is hard to argue against a narrative that we are living in turbulent and tragic times. And first up, in a tragedy, the real tragedy is for you to go through it and not allow God to change you through that tragedy. So I hope even now, as you listen to this devotion, you're going to allow God to change you for the better and make you a better servant of the kingdom. Now, during a turbulent times, what we do find is that we have fear that surrounds us. And if we let that fear seep into our hearts, it has a way of manifesting itself in the form of hate, acrimony, anxiety, and selfishness. But don't despair just yet, because the Word of God has an antidote, and that antidote is love. The Word of God says in 1 John chapter 4, verses 18, perfect love drives out fear. Perfect love drives out fear. When they asked Jesus Christ, what are the greatest commandments? When they asked him in Matthew chapter 22, verses 37, this is what Jesus Christ said. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And he said, secondly, love your neighbor as yourself. So when Jesus Christ brought our faith into its bare bones, or reduced it to its bare bones, he brought it down to love. Now, we know that it is not the nails that held Jesus Christ on the cross, but it was the strength of his love. If at any moment that his love would not hold, he could have easily summoned the host of heaven, the angels, to come and pluck him from the cross and annihilate every human being. But his love for you and I was so much greater that he hung on the cross and died for you and I. Now, what does this love look like for us as believers? Now, in the past couple of weeks as a growth group, we discussed this love, and Liesel in our past devotion, she also touched on this love, and it's found in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And Paul eloquently describes it for us. And he says, if I can speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a resounding gong and a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and hand over my possession, and hand over my body towards hardship so that I can boast, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. It does not delight in evil, but always rejoices in the truth. It always protects. It always trusts. It always hopes. It always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. Finally, therefore, brethren, these 3 shall remain: faith, hope, love. And the greatest of these is love. What does this love look like? This love is characterized by giving instead of getting, by faith instead of fear, by faithfulness instead of feeling, by the long haul instead of the short term. And you might be worried and say, this is a tall standard and I can't attain to it. You're quite right. But it's not a standard we attain because we're by working towards it. But it is a standard that we attain by abiding in the source, and that is Jesus Christ. It is a fruit of the Spirit. Galatians 5 verses 22 says, it is a fruit of the Spirit. And this love has been lavished upon us as the sons and daughters of the living God. That's why Paul says in Romans 8 verses 38, for this I am convinced, that neither death, no life, no angels, no principalities, no powers, no things present, no things to come, no height, no depth, no any created thing can separate us from the love of God. And we know that the word of God says God himself is love. And David says in Psalm 139 verses 8, if I ascend into the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, still you are there with me. In other words, even if you right now are going through a hellish experience, I want to assure you that the love of God is around you. And let that love flow through you and flush out your fear for your future. Flush out your fear for your finances. Flush out your fear for your fitness and health. And let this love of God be all over around you. And you also share it with others. And let it have victory in your life. And I hope you enjoy that. And may God bless you richly for watching. God bless you. Bye-bye.